What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ryan Meyer's Expeditions. We got something really sick today. Guys, I'm taking Raya and all of his friends lobstering for their first time ever. We just walked into this really sick remote spot. Like I'm always telling you guys, anything you're trying to look for that's just a little bit special, like those lobsters, you really gotta work just a little bit harder to get off that beaten path and go just a little bit further than everybody else is willing to go. So I got Raya and all his friends, a couple of the dads. We're setting up camp right now. We just got in here as the sun's going down, and then we're gonna jump in for everybody's first night dive ever. One of my favorite things about night diving is that you see stuff that you just wouldn't see during the day. So there's a lot of species out here in Hawaii that only come out at night. So I'm gonna be showing you guys all that, whatever I can find out there underwater that looks really cool. I'm gonna be explaining to the kids how to catch their first lobsters and also how to do it legally. There's a lobster season out here in Hawaii. It starts on September 1st. So we're about 10, 12 days in, but I think this area is still gonna be pretty virgin. I bet nobody's been here yet. Like I said, a little bit harder to get to, truly makes all the difference. Another one of those rules we're gonna be looking out for tonight is male versus female. Out here in Hawaii, you're only allowed to keep the males. So I'm gonna kind of show these guys what the difference is, how they can identify them from far away, so you don't actually have to go over there and harass the females only to let them go after. This is gonna be a really sick overnight mission in here to one of my favorite spots. Guys, this is what it is really all about right here, showing that next generation how to do this responsibly, how to be respectful of these off-the-grid spots, how to come out here and harvest a really delicate resource and do it in a responsible way, and leaves enough out here so that there's plenty for their kids generations from now to come back to these same spots and hopefully find lobsters and do this same kind of thing. The sun has just gone down. We're gonna finish setting up camp, and then we're gonna see you guys out in the water. All right.
I couldn't put my hands around it.
That's huge, huh? Look at this thing, okay. So this is a big lobster, but can you see the tail? It's a female. So normally the females don't get this big. This is pretty rare. And this is because we're in one of those crazy spots. So even the females are huge, but. Okay, so see how it's like furry on the bottom? Instead, they have two sets of flaps instead of one set of flap. I'll show you the male and you'll be able to tell. All right, let him go. Almost had it. Can't grab their antennas, they get away. Yes! Nicely done, Jeff. That's a male. Check it out. In the bag. Woo! Bro, that was the biggest lobster ever. Yeah.
There's tons in that tank.
I know. We'll come back. Too slow, grasshopper. That's okay, it was a female. It's a male! Nicely done! Hold on tight! Put it in the bag! Nice!
Drift off like feathers in the wind.
That was okay. Did you see the eggs? He had eggs.
I can hear your thoughts loud and clear. You don't have to say a thing, my dear. Pretend that I'm not here. All I seek is some honesty, a stray of light in my darkest fears. I know you know, I know.
Why'd you let it go? No, it's as big as they get.
Really?
Yeah, this species only gets this big.
I grabbed that, I was like, this thing's so small.
Bro, this is you, bro. This is as big as they get.
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually a really big one.
Oh my gosh. I held it in my hand, I was like, you know what?
No, nice. That was a good spot, dude.
Did I give you space enough to waste every bit of ice? I can hear your thoughts loud and clear. You don't have to say a thing, my dear. Pretend that I'm not here. All I seek is some honesty, a stray of light in my darkest fears.
There you go.
That was so hilarious watching you guys get it.
Okay, so the secret with those is you gotta reach for the back. Now, they're all good. You gotta reach for the back because you know he's going backwards, right? Yeah. So slap right behind him. That is a different kind.
Lucky me, I had thick skin, as I'm sure I would give in. Fall apart, let you go and break my heart. Lucky me, I had thick skin, as I'm sure I would give in. I know, you know, I know. You don't care about my life, don't care about my life. Lucky me, I have thick skin. You don't care about my life, don't care about my life. Lucky me, I have thick skin. My love, oh my love, oh my love.
I got two. I've never done that before. What'd you get? I think mine's a female. Looks like. There, shine the light on him. One female, one male. What'd you get? Oh, it's a female. Yeah, you gotta let it go.
You don't ever wanna tell me what you're thinking.
There we go.
Don't know what's worse, the waiting or the frustration. It's hard to care about you. I watch you fall apart, like pouring water over your fading spark. Isn't it enough already? Isn't it enough now, baby?
Let's cruise on back.
We keep on riding on the freeway, keep pretending that it's pretense. Sinking down low, the further we go, the better it feels. We keep on driving like there's no end, keep on wishing for a better day. Sinking down low, the further we go, the better it feels, the better it feels, yeah, yeah. You don't ever wanna tell me what you're feeling. One word out of your mouth, it's like starting a fire. Don't know what's to make it through. I watch you fall apart, like pouring water over your fading spark. Isn't it enough already? Isn't it enough now, baby? Isn't it enough, 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 enough? We keep on riding on the freeway, keep pretending that it's pretense. Sinking down low, the further we go, the better it feels. We keep on driving like there's no end, keep on wishing for a better day. Sinking down low, the further we go, the better it feels, the better it feels, yeah, yeah.
The thing is huge! Bro, that's the other species. It's the biggest one I've ever seen of the other kind.
I was swimming and I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to pass it.
It's the biggest one I've ever seen of that kind. I can't remember what they're called. It's got the really pretty, you know, colors on it.
Dude, I was like,
Bro.
fighting that so hard. I did not want to do that. Like,
How cut up is your hand? All bleeding, bro.
that's worth it though.
Ryan, that was amazing.
That's so
Good for you, bro. Yes.
gosh.
That was
I was
a good.
looking for like one last dude.
That was it. One last one, bro. That was the birthday lobster right there. All right. Stick to the deep water. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going. Woo! I can't believe we made it back through those rocks. See it. Here we go. The 3-prong.
Screw it. I'm burning it. I don't even care. I'm burning it.
What did you do?
It takes too long.
Well, guys, successful lobster dive last night. Got out there, got like 13 total. Wasn't as many as kind of I wanted or was expecting, but it was awesome. We had nonstop action all night. What was really interesting actually is that I've heard many times that the lobsters don't like that full moon. And last night we had a full moon, and as soon as we jumped in the water, the moon was down. And there were lobsters out crawling around everywhere. It was cool. There were big ones. Everybody was still kind of getting their bearings on how to grab it, and we definitely lost some monsters really early on. But then as soon as that moon came up, it was so full and the sky was so empty that it was like daylight out there. And then every lobster I found after was back in its cave. And that's kind of what they do all day long. Picture they live back in their caves, and then as it gets dark, they come out of their caves and they forage basically further and further and further, depending on, you know, how long they're out, you know, and how comfortable they feel. So I was skeptical on this theory at the beginning, the first time I heard it, but now this is the second time where I've watched the lobster be everywhere, then that moon come up, and then all those lobsters just kind of disappear and go back in their caves. So from now on, I'm gonna kind of watch that moon. Maybe my next lobster session, I'm gonna make sure that the moon is dark and we'll do a test. Maybe we'll come back to this very spot. But now is what makes it all worth it, is we're gonna cook up this lobster right here on the open fire, right here on the rocks. I brought a cool fancy compound butter for us to use. Some of these guys have never had lobster before and they've definitely never cooked their own. So this is gonna be kind of full circle, show them what this whole thing is about. So we actually got 3 different types of lobster last night. We have our regular, this is your regular Pacific spiny right there. That is your slipper, show us that one. That's about as big as these get, believe it or not. And then the real trophy of the night, I can't think of what this one is called, but there's a different name for this one. It's a purple, see how it's purple? It's got different bars. Let me see that face. What a cool lobster. The last one of the night, just on the way in, last minute birthday boy, there you go, dinner. Tell me about that first giant.
Well, we had like just gone out, and then Ryan like was flashing his light and pointing it, and then I went down, and it was like probably 2 times as thick as this, like that.
It was the size of your head,
And
bro. It's one of the biggest ones I've ever seen.
I couldn't fit my hand around it, so it just flapped away and it hit my knee. And then I like watched it go off, and then Ryan got it, but it was a female.
But that was the giant female. That was one of the biggest females I've ever seen by far. But the other one, the one that was even bigger.
Oh, in the cave.
In the cave, and you could barely touch it. And you were like, and you were like touching it.
I was like reaching my arm inside, and my head was like looked the other way, and I was trying to grab it, and then it just.
You had no hope.
Into his cave.
This lobster was so big, he had no hope. His little tiny hand was there trying to grab this giant lobster. There was no getting around it. Tell me about your first night dive.
It was pretty awesome. We got a couple lobster, and we went across here, and then we went back around to the point. And it was pretty sweet. I saw a lot of fish just sleeping there, right in front of you. You wish you had your spear there, but
why don't we use our spear at night?
All the sharks, they're all up at night, so.
They're awake, they're out there feeding. We don't want to mess with them at night.
Yeah.
So how to clean these lobsters really, really easily. Basically taking that knife up through the tail, okay? Right up there against the chest, just like that, okay? Grab them, twist them, break that antenna off like that. Now you got them like this. The antenna is made perfectly to clean that poop chute. See that? Sticks up the butt, comes back down. When it comes back down, it pulls all the poop out. Now it's nice and clean. Toss that away, you got yourself a nice delicious tail. All I'm gonna do is split it straight down the center. So sometimes it's kind of hard, and I just do like this. Now, you got 2 beautiful lobster halves. So to cook these guys, I wanna make it really, really simple. Basically, I'm gonna pop the tails off of some of those smaller ones, split those tails down the center, throw them on my pan, and then kind of rub like a compound butter that I made with some green onion and some garlic, and throw it right here on the coals and see how it comes out for breakfast. Lobster breakfast, right after hunting them all night. Can't beat it. Okay, you guys ready to sing? Yeah. We got melty candles, candle and lobsters.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna pretend like it's lit. Sing!
Happy birthday to you. Woo! Happy birthday to you. Woo! Happy
Birthday, dear Raya. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Blow them out!
They already are out.
Check it out. You never had a lobster cake before, have you?
No, there's wax in them.
Leave the wax alone. Don't worry about the wax. It's good for growing boys.
Extra flavor.
This is your candle.
Here.
Yay!
Woo! All right, let's eat. The least candled
This
one?
one.
The least waxed one?
Yeah,
Is it hot?
and the biggest one.
Still hot?
Uh-huh.
Okay, there's paper towels too. If you guys want to grab a paper towel to keep yourself from dropping it.
Ooh, it's hot. This one is also wax.
Paper towel 'em, paper towel 'em.
Awesome.
Yeah?
Got my lobster cut.
I bet your mom can make a better lobster mac and cheese though. Or lobster grilled cheese.
That's it.
Well done.
Never dropped it. Can we dip our lobster in the sauce?
You can do anything you want. After our lobster birthday breakfast, it was straight back into the ocean with the guys to take them spearfishing and trying to level up that skill a little bit. And of course, what did I see immediately when I jumped in the ocean was a lobster, but they are so hard to catch during the day. The kids immediately got after it, shooting a big king collet and one of these regular collets on the 3-prong and even a giant blue woohoo. The kids eventually found like a little crack that had all these redfish in them, and especially with these small guns, these menpachis and alihis and aveoveos are such a perfect target for any kind of beginner diver to do. And when you plant that left hand, you got a whole lot better chance of sticking one of these little fish in a cage.
And then I saw the alihi, and I shot him, and I thought it was good fish because he was facing at me, but I didn't want to turn around and go back in like the last time.
Nice fish, man. That thing is so spiky, watch out.
First fish on the spear gun.
First fish on the spear gun? That's awesome.
I don't have gloves, super sharp.
I got it, bro.
This wasn't so much about shooting fish though, as it was about really leveling up their skills. And the most basic of those skills is to learn to really hunt from the bottom. So you can see right here, as this kid is crawling across the bottom and he's stable and his left hand is holding himself stable. Therefore that right hand can hold the gun and point in at a rock, in a hole, at his fish, at whatever he's doing, but he's shooting from a stable platform. And that's such a key for all of you beginner divers out there. And you can see the difference over and over right here, as some of them go down and they just frantically shoot at something, and some of them go down and they post up and they really plant that left hand, and they're much more accurate with their shots. Absolutely all of us went through this phase where we feel like we need to swim down and take a shot every single dive. We never really go to the bottom, just kind of shooting shafts at something in the general direction and hoping something sticks. And you gotta go through it to get over it and to be done with it. But the key is, if you're watching these videos and you're learning from me, you don't have to go through this phase for long. You can move beyond the, random shots at things and into becoming a real hunter by attracting those fish over to you, by going down to the bottom and taking high percentage shots at fish that are coming in your direction or turning sideways, or planting that left hand and looking into caves. And this doesn't have to be done deep. This doesn't mean that you need to be out there doing this at 50, 60 feet. You can make this transition in 20 feet of water if you're still there. That's perfectly fine. But I promise you, once you make this transition, you never go back. Once you start hitting fish consistently and using that left hand to stabilize yourself and not hovering up above the bottom, your whole world changes. And I promise you guys, don't take years to get there. Watch some of my videos and get there in a few months and move on, and it'll totally set you up for a whole career, a whole lifetime of spearfishing properly. On the last drop, Raya manages to get close enough to one of these schools of little bitty moos and actually make the shot. It was sick to see him get, this is his first moo ever. The moo are one of the smartest fish, hardest fish to hunt out in Hawaii, and my first one wasn't that much bigger than this one.
Woo! That's your first moo! Bro, nicely done! Nice fish, man. Biggest doohoo. First moo for Raya. First fish with a spear gun, yeah? Nice. Well, I got a successful birthday mission there for Raya. We had so many firsts. First moo. One of the guys got their first fish with the spear gun. Another one of the guys got their biggest parrotfish ever. We got first lobster caught. We got first lobster eaten. Just overall, great success of a trip. And guys, this is what it's all about right here, is sharing this with the next generation, showing them, how to come out here to these remote zones, respect the area, take enough for dinner, get to enjoy the resource without pillaging, without leaving any kind of trace here. We just went through this whole beautiful campsite. I was like, no trace, disassembled the fire pit, really just taught these guys the way I was taught back in the day on how to kind of respect a zone. It was a pleasure taking these guys. And if you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed me showing next generation kind of what I do, leave a like, subscribe if you're not already. We're just getting started here at Ryan Myers Expeditions. We'll see you guys next time.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Ryan Myers Expeditions. Today we're going to Lobster with Raya.
Thank you, Ryan, for putting me on my first lobster and first moo, and thanks for taking me out.
You're the best spearfishing guide in the world. You're amazing.